Lantang local government area is the hometown of the TAROK people. It is located about 200 kilometers southeast of Jos, the Plateau State capital. The people are called Otarok. They are predominantly found in Lantang North, Lantang South, and some parts of Kanam, Wase, Kanke, and Mikang local government areas of Plateau State, central Nigeria.
The TAROK man is actually easy to identify through certain characteristics. He's very, very vocal when it comes to issues of truth. And he says it, sometimes people think he's violent, but no. The TAROK man also is known by sometimes the way he dresses. We have particular features. Particularly when you see the lion skin on somebody, he is most likely to be a TAROK person. In days past, TAROK used to have marks. Depending on which part of TAROK land you come from, you can have them horizontally across your face, or sometimes a little marks on your mouth side. You could see them here. Sometimes you could even see them here. But like I said, those are fading very, very fast now. And then, of course, the TAROK intonation, you can always get them through the way they speak, the way they pronounce certain words. But generally, TAROK man is very easy to distinguish for those who know them.
The history and migration of the Otarok, like with most African people, it is faced with divergent opinion by different scholars. Some believed that the TAROK people originated from central and southern part of Africa, and they are called Bantiot. Other postulated linguistic evidence linked the TAROK to a western migration route. Furthermore, some oral tradition and anthropological notes indicated that by the middle of the century, the TAROK race had already migrated from Tal to present-day TAROK land. TAROK land is traditionally divided into hills and plains TAROK.
Find the TAROK actually are a consortium of all this. There is a Chadic, there is an Allo-Saharan, there is the Benue Congo, and then there are others. Like, there are about 5 ethno-linguistic stocks that make the TAROK nation. You find out that in the TAROK, there are Jukonoid. In the TAROK, there are Biro, what we call Bogom. In the TAROK, you find the Angas. In the TAROK, you find also the Ankwei. And then in the TAROK, you find a Jukonoid. But then the various ethno-linguistic stock came as a result and adopted the language of the Pe, who are the Benue Congo ethno-linguistic stock. So the name TAROK actually is a pseudonym, because TAROK have a way of adopting every tribe, every ethnic group, every linguistic stock into itself. Once you are able to kill an animal that is causing trouble in TAROK land, they adopt you to become a TAROK person. Once you marry within the TAROK nation, you also have the adoption to become a TAROK person. Once you come with what we call a seed producing capacity, where you can show them how they can farm well, you adopt. Once there is a disease and then you are able to bring a cure to it, they adopt you. So by virtue, the TAROK are accommodating, and they accommodate every other person into their language.
TAROK migrated from the east and settled at a place called Tal in Pangshan district. When they came, they migrated from Tal and settled at the hilltop before the arrival of the white man. They settled at the hilltop. Then some people passed down to the lowland area here and settled here. And in fact, those who settled at the hilltop, when the white man came, in fact, they belong to, according to the demarcation of the white man, they belong to Bauchi province. Then those who settled at the downward side here, at the lowland area, they belong to Jalingo province. Until 1955, when TAROK gathered together and said, how can we divide ourselves? We better come together and unite and be one.
The important thing is that both understand each other. If a typical Zini man is here speaking, I would understand what he's saying, but from his intonation, from his use of words, I would know that, oh, this man is from this part of TAROK land. But substantially, we have two dialects, mainly for the highland and the lowland TAROK.
Before the arrival of the missionaries in 18th century in the TAROK land, TAROK people were purely traditionalists. They believed in a supreme being called Inang, which can only be reached through mediators known as the ancestral spirits.
Before the contact of Christianity and Islam in TAROK land, they were traditionalists. Despite the fact that they believe that there is supreme God, but we call it Inam. They believe that there is supreme God, there is somebody over there. Yet the way of worshiping differs with that of Christianity and Islam. They were worshiping Orim because they believe that protection comes from them. So they do give them sacrifice, sometimes yearly. They also worship Ijin, that is twins. When a woman gives birth to twins, they worship it and give sacrifice for more twins. They also worship Ichir. Some of them use it as dance. There are some that only perform sacrifice to them in their house, but not every family have it. They also worship Imagine. That Imagine is purely women kind of worship. It's done by women, not men.
Farming, cattle rearing, and wood carving are the major preoccupation of the TAROK people. They also engage in blacksmithing, through which they produce farming implements, weapons of warfare, and other iron materials.
TAROK people are generally known for farming. That is the most prominent activity of the TAROK man. Of course, it is not the only activity. Every TAROK household, you must find farmers there. The head is most likely to be a farmer, and because with that, he can feed his family.
TAROK are industrious. We have our textile, we have our blacksmith, which was used to produce farm implements and even weaponry. We have sophisticated weapons. This is one of the TAROK weapons. Now this, as you see it, we have a particular poison that if I apply it on this now, it is going to be too dangerous to be kept loosely. Because once it touches you and blood comes out, you will not survive it. There is no medical science that can cure you. And it's a weapon of war produced by the TAROK people.
To the TAROK people, losing their language means losing their culture and tradition. As such, they need to preserve it for the younger generation. One of such ways is the Ulumo TAROK, which over the years have been a uniting force for the TAROK people.
Ulumo TAROK is the one being performed to promote the rich culture of TAROK land. A lot of cultural group, dance group will come, will gather. The history of the TAROK people will be told, and a lot of people will come to see our cultural value. And a lot of TAROK foods will be displayed and to teach the younger ones our culture.
And the containers in which we call them, these containers are called adaptai. All these ones too are called agi. This one is asu. You can see that it doesn't have a cover of its own. It is called asu. And inside are specially prepared TAROK woman's favorite dishes. You know, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. So a TAROK woman knows how to keep her marriage intact.
According to tradition, as you can see.
The ancestors, Orim, are represented by initiated males and postmenopausal women. Orim usually emerged as masquerades, such as Orim Gansal, which means fun and play, and Orim Odudu, among others, which women are not allowed to watch or see.
Orim is a kind of masquerade that cannot be seen by women. And their voices can only be heard, but you cannot see them. It's a spiritual belief that Orim is not being seen by any person, and only men and only those that are being initiated that are allowed to go into that forest and listen to what the Orim will say. The Dudu we are referring to is a masquerade that you always see dancing with grasses. We were told that masquerade is a kind of a borrowed masquerade from the Jukun. That is it comes from Jukun area, and our people who are being friendly with them borrowed that one, which is used to dance in the public. Then they have this other one called Saraunia. That Saraunia too is a borrowed culture. It is not known very well in TAROK land. We have another one called Labasa. That one too is used by some part of TAROK land, but we believe they are not our inheritance. This thing is something used for some people bring it during their friends to the land. The only sacred masquerade we have is the one I told you, Orim.
Funeral rites in TAROK land are also unique. The death and subsequent burial of an elderly man is followed by a war dance called Ngaga. This involves beating of drums and welding of spears meant to drive away death.
Nganga is that is being performed either when somebody died or when the land is going for war. So that Nganga, you see a very big drum. That one that is carrying very big drum that will be beating is where you will see young and old men. They will be facing the south with weapons. So at times during when somebody died, it is believed that they are pursuing or the dead. That had it been this dead is something they can see, they will have pursued it and and kill it. So they are sending away the spirit of death. That is the significance of Nganga, most especially when somebody died. Another way of using it is when we are going to war. So when there is war in the land, they bring out that drum and they will be beating, some will be blowing flutes. We have one flute we call Ngapak. Then we have another one we call Izur, where once it is blown, all the men and all the young men, the old, they will gear up and say something has gone wrong. And the chief priest of the land will now come out and say, okay, we are facing our enemies. So the drum will be beaten and then all the warriors will now start going. No going back.
Be hit by all of this seeming commotion that is going on. That is the beauty of what's happening right now. The gang will be
It is the display of courage. The display of heroism. You can see both men and women are part of this heroic event.
Other forms of dance which are of significance to the Tarok people are Nzem Ochir, Nzem Mbwa, and Nzem Nzur.
Then we have this one we call Nzamichir. Nzamichir is something that is believed, which is being performed by individuals. Each household may have their own Ichir, which they worship. Some use it to perform miracles. Some use it to perform so many wonders. You see calabash, then the instrument, they put some kind of, I don't know how to describe it, where they shake it and you will see people dancing. Some will be carrying horns, even including women. They will be dancing around, holding a horse whip and be dancing. So that is the Zamichir. And you also see them sometimes, somebody will carry knife, trying to cut his neck. Some will cut his hand, which cannot be cut. Some will even light a fire, Then we have Zamabwa. Zamabwa is the local jita that we have, where we used to have one popular musician called Jimak, and now we have the younger ones that are coming up. So Zamabwa is the one you always had at this occasion. A time when there is a wedding and all this, and you see our women coming out, dance, and once they put the music, we call that one Zamabwa. We have another one where women also use when they are grinding, using this native way of grinding corns and other things. So there is a lot of songs and dances in Tarok land.
giving you the knowledge of our culture.
Imbat and Irap Nzem Idamun are the most respected traditional attire of the Tarok people. Imbat is a multicolored belt locally weaved by the Tarok.
This is called Mbat. It has multiple purposes. If you emerge victorious in your chosen profession, the elders will tie this for you. This one here. Now, this is meaning that, okay, you are encouraged and strengthened to do more. If you lose your parents, whether maternal or paternal, your uncles who have the ultimate authority on you will come and tie this around your waist, meaning they are commensurating with you, and they are saying, even though your mother has gone or your father has gone, this is evidence that we are still around with you, so be encouraged. And then the last use of this is when you are going to war. It is tied around your waist to ensure that it stabilizes you while fighting. And each time you look at it, you are encouraged to fight and conquer, because you emerge from a society, a community that has never been defeated.
While the wrap, Nzem Idamun, is the leopard design material.
Is the damun skin. It is from the leopard, really. In the days gone by, past, a youth is, or a man, before you become a man, really, you would have killed a leopard. Leopard is one of the most dangerous and the most agile animals. So the significance of that is the agility, the warrior nature, and the sharpness of the Tarok nation. That is why the Tarok people have adopted that, what you call their dress code, really. It has a lot of significance and is worn by both men and women.
Anwam or Amora is the traditional cuisine of the Tarok people, and indeed is a mouth-watering porridge. And this dish is mostly served in a special event for very important personalities, especially it is expected for a bride to prepare it for her in-laws.
It has various significance for the Tarok nation. At weddings, the new Amaria, new wife, is expected shortly after getting married to cook and share, particularly amongst her in-laws. Very important. That way, the whole family and the community knows they have a new wife there. At burial also, the wives who have been married into the particular family, they usually cook amora. And this they give their in-laws too, particularly the kakas, the grandparents, the grandmothers. In even settling disputes, you find that wives can, wives can cook amora to appease their husbands. And so amora has a lot of significance for us in Tarok land.
Celebrating culture and tradition remains a cheerful moment in our lives, and it is hard to imagine a world without festivals. Culture is the bedrock of every ethnic nation.